Jalen Lucas is back deep to receive for the Hoosiers. And the kickoff by Brendan Frankie. Underway, game number 5 for both teams. Game 5 starts with a touchback. With the absence of Camper and DJ Matthews, that's 50 of the 108 receptions for the Hoosiers offense this year. Emery Simmons, who you saw on the impact players, is a transfer from North Carolina, who has 9 catches this year, and that is not the way to start the game.
And actually, again, this is going to all come down to these offensive and defensive fronts.
Mickey Joseph told us yesterday he wanted to see in particular an explosive game-changing play in the kicking game. Shivers to the outside and wrestled down, and it's another tackle by Isaac Gifford on 47% of third downs this season. He's left the throw for the first time tonight. High pass out of bounds. And an incomplete pass on third down. Here's James Evans from Auckland, New Zealand, punting it to Trey Palmer, who will watch it bounce and roll and go out of bounds in 4 games this year. Last week was a bye week for Nebraska, so now the Huskers back in action as Casey Thompson hands the ball off.
He's in control of this offense, and he's learning it and getting better every week.
And here he is throwing up top for Trey Palmer, and Palmer goes up to high point the football, and he catches it down inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he got right down the middle of the weakness of that defense. Once you split that safety, there's nobody in the middle of the field. He's trying to run the linebacker with him. It's a cover 2. And both those safeties split. The linebacker's got to run with them, and that's a mismatch.
A 34-yard pass play down to the Indiana 34. Thompson, now he's throwing end zone down the right side, and he drops the throw in the bucket for a touchdown for Nebraska to Oliver Martin.
Prior to the pass. Defense, number 3. The penalty is declined. The result of the play.
The whole key to that thing was that offensive line.
Against coverage, you said Tywan Mullen could take a receiver out of the game. Not when you throw it perfectly like that pass. Thompson to Oliver Martin. And he's played for 3 seasons at Nebraska. He's caught a touchdown pass at 3 different Big Ten schools. Wolverines, the Hawkeyes, and the Cornhuskers.
Ran a good route.
Left tackle Turner Corcoran, left guard Ethan Piper, center Trent Hickson, right guard Brock Bando, right tackle Bryce Benhart. And now going for the deep ball, the first play of this drive for Indiana.
So the pace kind of evens the playing field. However, if you don't get first downs, it kills you. On the field, you have to get everybody on the same page.
Here's the up-tempo offense, baseline look left, then to the right side, and incomplete. A fantastic visit with him yesterday. It's felt like they've attacked things the right way over the last couple of weeks, simplified some things, added a couple of tweaks. Fair catch called for by Trey Palmer. And it will back up the Huskers to the 15-yard line. Room to run here for Anthony Grant.
When you think you're going to get him, just enough to get away from you.
And he picks up a first down. And he continues to show some top running ability. Wow, spinning and spinning from Buford, Georgia. That's an 11-yard gain, that is, for Anthony Grant. And this will open up here for Casey Thompson.
Lots of questions, really fun to talk to, and he's also a great student.
Already has his degree from Texas and then working on his master's degree here at Nebraska. Inside run by Anthony Grant.
But they're doing well right now.
And Turner Corcoran's kicked out to left tackle for the 2nd straight game, and they've got a different left guard over the last 2 games. Kevin Williams in the previous game.
And they want to prove everybody wrong.
Got a 2nd down and 8 now for Casey Thompson.
A lot of time to throw.
He's throwing a touchdown pass in this game, and now he finally gets the ball away. Third down has not really been an issue for the Huskers this year. They're converting 52% of the time. They have a 3rd down and 7, and that is a bullet throw that's on the money to Trey Palmer. Well, you need a 3rd down conversion, and Nebraska goes to their top receiver, Trey Palmer, to lead Nebraska in the passing game. And Palmer goes in motion across the formation. Thompson to throw on 1st down, and sitting down in the middle is the tight end. That's his 7th catch this year, and the Husker drive started at the 15. It's moved to the 29. Will move more, throw to the edge, a flag down, a catch by Palmer. And now Nebraska leading 7-0, 6 minutes into the game, is pushed back to a 1st down and 20. Thompson. And Keys is on the coverage. That goes for 13 yards. And Thompson to throw. And Thompson's under duress.
Up, flat.
Noah Pierre brings him down. He threw the ball away.
11, while still in the pocket, threw the ball to the ground where there was no receiver. Intentional grounding.
And then after a pass to Marcus Washington, they move back on the intentional grounding. Force Nebraska to lose ground on the drive, and Brian Bushini will punt the ball here. And Connor Delk is back deep to receive, waiting for a fair catch, and he makes it at the 5-yard line.
He chose to go with the up-tempo offense. You'll see the benefits of it as it goes on in the game.
From the 5-yard line, Sean Shivers, transfer from Auburn, ran for over 1,000 yards in his time at Auburn. 11 catches so far this year out of the backfield for Shivers, but a steady diet of running. Shivers to the right of Bazelak in the backfield, as Bazelak will throw the ball here on first down.
Prior to the pass, holding defense number 1.
We open up the season with runs over Illinois, Idaho, and Western Kentucky before last week's loss to Cincinnati.
Prior to the snap, delay of game.
Shivers goes out as a passing option, but Bazelak going farther down the field than that, and then the ball comes free at the end. Shivers on second down, and Ty Robinson wraps him up and throws it down. Mickey Joseph said he wanted to see a little bit more of the mean streak out of Ty Robinson, and that was made on second down. And here is Bazelak, stepped up in the pocket away from the pressure, incomplete in the sideline, but a marker's down. On 3rd and long, the bailout's coming here for the Hoosiers, it would appear, as we await the call from Reggie Smith.
Pass interference.
Quentin Newsom, best cover player on the defense according to Bill Bush, and he's called for the penalty in his Huskers career. To throw, Bazelak, and he's flushed, he'll throw. Now remember, there was one catch a moment ago, A.J. Barner talking about a contested catch that wasn't made. To throw, Bazelak underneath, and incomplete to start the game. Punt by James Evans.
Oh, it's a nice kick.
And Palmer will backpedal. He's added his 29th. He just fair caught a punt of 50 yards by Indiana's James Evans at the 5-yard line.
He's got sure hands.
Yes, he does. Gabe Irvin is in the game at running back and picks up 7, nearly 8 yards on first down.
What are you waiting for? Thompson said, I got you, coach. Look for that Thompson-Palmer connection more on this drive.
On second down, leaves them a half-yard shy of the first down. Third straight one for Irvin, and they pick it up, first down to the 17. You know, those two things aren't very far away from each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Irvin to the outside. And that went for 7 yards for Gabe Irvin. Hit hard. Yeah. You got Cam Jones and Aaron Casey as the top 2 linebackers for Indiana. But if they take one out and bring in Jennings, they got a big hitter. Now Thompson backpedaling, and they got to it for the first time tonight. There's a pass rush from the true freshman, Dasan McCullough. The 4th sack again for the true freshman, Dasan McCullough.
Oh, good punt.
Connor Delk returning. Change of direction. Flags are down. He did show some shiftiness on that return. Lays Gunderson.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the receiving team.
Oh, wow. The most exciting moments of the night so far. Here's Josh Henderson in the game, and Henderson catches the pass from Bazelak and up the sideline for a big gain. And it goes for 25 yards. And now Bazelak under pressure, and Garrett Nelson. Garrett Nelson, the sack for Nebraska. They've been selling out games for 60 years here. They don't need homecoming, which is what tonight is for a sellout. 386 straight games. Quick throw, Bazelak.
Oh, great throw. It looks like they're keeping somebody in the hole, and it looks like they're matching it up man again, which they are. It's wide open in the middle, and they're going to bring 5 on 5.
Yeah, Anderson just emptied out the backfield. And there's the in-breaking route, which is what Indiana does very, very well. It is caught, and it's a first down as Emery Simmons converts.
Yeah, you're going to watch this. So as soon as he motions, now you're locked up. All these guys are locked up down here. He just takes his time. He has time to throw. That's the key.
Now, Bill Bush told us yesterday, Nebraska's defensive coordinator, they were worried about the in-breaking routes, and that was one.
He should have a pretty good idea of what they're doing.
Anderson running the ball.
Is that his offensive line's having a problem against his defensive front?
And here is the up-tempo snap, and the ball comes out from Bazelak, and it's incomplete. Connor Bazelak was the quarterback at Missouri 2 years ago when Missouri had a 45-41 win over LSU.
With a better offensive line than this one.
Punt by James Evans.
Casey Thompson's not in there.
Chubba Purdy is at quarterback, and Anthony Grant has nowhere to go on a run to the right side. Loss of a yard there by Grant. Chubba Purdy at quarterback, younger brother of former Iowa State quarterback. Purdy has thrown the ball 11 times this year. Will he go to Trey Palmer, who just went in motion? He's in trouble, and it's a safety, or maybe even worse, a touchdown perhaps. It's a lost ball to the end zone, and it is signaled a fumble and a touchdown for Indiana on defense. His Hoosiers create a score on that side of the ball.
Cam Jones did a really nice job.
After disaster strikes for Nebraska. Trying to regain their footing now.
That's a good job of adjusting by the defense.
And it was right down the field and boom on the first drive of the game. 3 plays and 72 yards. I don't think you can overlook the penalty issues as well tonight, Matt. 6 for 55 now for Nebraska. Anthony Grant, Nebraska, the top 5 and 5 of the top 11. After an opening touchdown drive, it's another empty-handed possession here for Nebraska.
Short punt.
Brian Buschini was the FCS punter of the year last year at Montana. Bazelak to throw. Safety valve pass to Sean Shivers. Mike Kadick is the center tonight for Indiana. Zach Carpenter, their normal center, is back, but unable to snap the ball due to a thumb injury that's kept him out the last 2 games. On 3rd and 9, Bazelak. Good pocket. Threw through traffic and nearly intercepted. Jamari Butler was close to it. From Mobile, Alabama, redshirt freshman Jamari Butler with the pass breakup. Something intended to Simmons, and here's a block punt, and it's picked up on the move by Nebraska, and this is going to be run out of the end zone. Touchdown for Nebraska. Thompson, who just had a pass breakup.
Unaccounted for, and he gets the block.
Now here's a return by Jalen Lucas, and Lucas has run through 2 tackles.
And it works out well for the Huskers.
And they take the lead, 14-7, as Bazelak is flushed from the pocket. Well, it's a moot point now as the play has been snapped.
Whoa!
Big tackle by Marquise Buford on the catch by Anderson Kobe. 4 yards on the pass play to Anderson Kobe. Here's Garrett Nelson with pressure and under duress. No problems getting the punt away for James Evans, and it's a beauty for the punter from Auckland, New Zealand. And backpedaling here is Palmer. May have outkicked the coverage. A little brush block on the sideline. James Evans, a 51-yard punt that time. 22-yard return by Trey Palmer. And Casey Thompson. And here's Pierre coming off the edge. And Thompson, but it is intentional grounding, and it's a problem here. But Anthony Grant on 2nd and 21 is going to pick up a bunch of the yardage right back. Not a first down, and won a National Junior College Association championship last year. 3rd and 4, and coming across the formation is Alante Brown.
Across the zones, rather.
Talking to Casey Thompson yesterday, he said he was the first receiver he noticed that stood out in terms of extra work and really committed to getting better when he started working with him in spring. Midway through the 2nd quarter. Here's Thompson throwing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oliver Martin, who has their offensive touchdown tonight.
Well read there by Thompson.
Remember, here in the second quarter, we've seen Indiana score on defense with a fumble recovery in the end zone, and Nebraska on special teams with a block punt return for a touchdown. And here is Thompson, and a bullet throw. It is 1st and goal for the Cornhuskers. And give it to Jaquez Yance, the running backs tonight. Again, A.J. Allen out for the year. And now Yant driving for the end zone and able to drive his way in for the touchdown. Well, you see Yant in his 6'2", 235-pound frame.
Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For the playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
21-7 Nebraska. Brendan Frankie kickoff. And it's a touchback.
So far tonight, they've been doing pretty well.
Donovan McCulley in motion. Looked like they were going to throw it to him. Remember, he's a wide receiver converted quarterback. Instead, they'll go the other direction to Josh Henderson. Spotted Henderson a few yards back upfield out of bounds, only at the 37, so that went for 12. And here is Bazelak, but there's no play.
They're going to call a motion.
1st and 15. Josh Henderson caught a 12-yard pass a moment ago.
Oh, great
the
run.
North Carolina transfer pinballs off tackles. Miles Farmer brought him down. And Henderson once again with yards after contact, but a marker's down.
Holding. Offense, number 67.
Looks like they're playing man. You got somebody, they're in man. And they're all lined up.
From sideline to sideline as Shivers went motion out to the wide side. Oh, the back shoulder throw caught by Javon Swinton to the Nebraska 33. Headed towards 4 minutes left in the first half.
That's what he should do.
Quarterback draw. Bazelak.
The middle's open. That's why Bazelak took off and made that run there.
Here's the up-tempo offense of Indiana, and Bazelak will throw, and it's Emory Simmons inside the 15. There was a point in time in this game, Bazelak was 2 for 8. Now he's up to 11 out of 22, and looking for a 12th completion, and he has it for a touchdown to Emory Simmons. Charles Campbell, who's won a game this year with a 51-yard field goal in overtime against Western Kentucky, who did catch 3 touchdowns in the 3 seasons that he played for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Kick off by Charles Freeman. And Nebraska's going to take this out.
There are fouls by both teams. The foul's offset, re-kick.
Tonight, Simmons has 3 for 41, including that touchdown. Time for Casey Thompson. And he finds Trey Palmer. First down, picked up. Gain of about 12 to Palmer.
This is going to be a quarterback game because neither team really has a legitimate pass rusher. And so they're going to have good protection relatively.
And a little bit of tempo here for Nebraska. Thompson steps up out of the pocket. Got away from Cam Jones. And there are flags down.
Hit him in the face.
You can see it. Yeah. Thompson was not right after that contact. Out to the 40-yard line on the run. A lengthy conversation here around referee Reggie Smith. We've heard from him almost as much as you and I have been talking tonight.
Yeah, I doubt that.
I mean, there have been there's been a couple of reviews. This will be the 14th penalty of the game between the two teams.
There are fouls by both teams. Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 92. That penalty will be enforced 15 yards from the end of the run. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 69, will be enforced 15 yards from the succeeding spot. It's 1st and 10.
So the net of 0.
Yes,
right?
yes, that's correct. When they happen concurrently like that. And so it's right back to where everything started, and another marker is down on the run by Anthony Grant, where he was upended after a gain of 7. He was tackled.
That's going to go against Nebraska.
Tackle by Bryant Fitzgerald, who's playing in his 50th game for the Hoosiers tonight, but the tackle really doesn't matter here because of the what presumably is going to be a Nebraska penalty. They will move them back.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 69, for throwing a punch on a player who was on the ground. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. And number 69, by his actions, has ejected himself from the game.
That's 2 unsportsmanlike conducts. So remember that Corcoran's playing left tackle because Teddy Prohaska's out of the lineup.
There was a pick waiting to happen right there, and he knew it. Put some speed on that side.
Here is Grant going behind the pulling guard Ethan Piper, and he's ready to boot this away here for Nebraska. Connor Delt is the return man for Indiana, and this is not a great punt by Buschini. It will go out of bounds. That's the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups halftime report. Just ran up for 5 yards on first down. Not snapping it quite as quickly as I assumed they might, as Jalen Lucas, and he caught a couple of times, and he's down the sideline. But great moves by Lucas. Indiana is moving here at the end of the half with a chance to tie the game. Pass completed over the middle. If Simmons picked up the first down, they'll have a momentary stop.
It's not black and white, mostly gray. You got to learn how to play in the gray.
Well, they're about to be in the red as it's zone, and it's caught. Anderson Kobe angling in to the center of the field and then tackled just shy of the goal line.
May have gotten a little bit of help there on a pick action on the outside. When they're in man, that's what you try to do.
Bazelak brings him up to the line of scrimmage. 48 seconds left in the half on the snap of the 1 yard line. A run by Lucas.
The official will give him the chance to be able to make the same change.
And by the way, Indiana's out of timeouts. They're going to run the ball. They run for a touchdown. Sean Shivers, 4th touchdown of the year with 15 seconds left in the half with the extra point. And splitting the sticks is Charles Campbell. Handoff. Anthony Grant.
Just simply play their game, because when they do, they're at their best. Defensively, he kept it simple, saying pressure the quarterback, stop the run, and stay disciplined.
Get control of the ball. You do that by getting first downs.
Remember, they're playing with a new left tackle, Brent Banks, because Turner Corcoran was ejected after 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Nebraska then had the block punt for a touchdown, also a short touchdown run by Jaquez Yant to make it 21-7, but then Indiana answered with 2 touchdown drives after that. Here's a pass by Casey Thompson. Brody Belt was in the backfield, but it's going to Anthony Grant, who was a loss of a yard. Williams has 6 career interceptions.
They're sitting in the zone.
And Thompson with a throw behind tight end Travis Vokalek. Nebraska unable to do anything even after the good fortune of the replay reversal. They had a 2nd down and 2, but the door was shut twice by Indiana. Led by Brian Buschini. Good right a roll.
It's not black and white. It's a feel and how you play them. Look out of that one.
It was a good one when Walt Bell said that earlier this week. Bazelak wants to throw it, and Bazelak to the sideline, and Emery Simmons, there's a marker down. Simmons steps away from 1 tackle and runs it over the 45, but there's a penalty, Matt.
It's going to be a push-off on him.
The guys have learned that there's time on the clock that they can win. Leadership's been a strength, and they believed in each other. A.J. Barner tight end.
First down. Throw them where they ain't. Right? That's what you're doing right now. They're going to go a little play action. Nobody's going to cover Barner. They're giving him a cushion. You just throw it.
I did not know that you're going to quote the 19th century baseball player Wee Willie Keeler.
Thank you very much.
Said hit them where they ain't.
Yeah.
Anderson Kobe, who set up Indiana's last touchdown with a catch and run all the way down to the 1 yard line. Bazelak, To throw it. Oh, big hit by Luke Reimer. Remember, this is all happening after a bye week for Nebraska. They lost big to Oklahoma going into the bye week. Here's Casey Thompson, fake handoff, a roll and throw, and a juggling attempt at an interception by Brian Fitzgerald, and he did intercept it.
Let's see if he had control before he went out of bounds.
For a touchback.
He had 3 interceptions in 2018. That's his first since. And now just trying to establish a beachhead coming out from the 1-yard line on a quarterback sneak as Connor Bazelak and pushes forward for 2 yards to the 3.
Not only a beachhead, some room to work.
A lot of pats on the back right now for Brian Fitzgerald down on the bench.
Well deserved. That's a great effort by him. They're going unbalanced line here. They bring an extra tackle in.
And go with Donovan McCulley, the converted quarterback in a Wildcat situation. And on the zone read, he runs to the left side. He's driven backwards into the end zone. Forward progress, though, is the 2-yard line. Nick Henrich, among others, drove him backwards, but McCulley did carry it forward to the 2.
He waits for it to develop, and he's not going anywhere. Henrich is right there.
And so is Reimer, who had the interception a moment ago. Indiana, 3rd down and 9 at their own 2 after a sensational interception by Fitzgerald.
Let the crowd speak to you.
Well, they brought Barner on late, and the play clock ran out.
Offense, half the distance to the goal. It's 3rd down. The offense sent in the 11th player, and by rule, the defense is afforded the opportunity to match.
They allowed him to substitute by rule. It was a 1.5 yard penalty.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not like the sharpest knife in the drawer, but when it's at the 2-yard line, half the distance is a 1-yard penalty. And Shivers is going to run it out of the end zone barely. Remember that Nebraska has blocked the punt and recovered it and run it in for a touchdown tonight.
He's at about 11 right here, maybe 10.
And a very quick delivery of the punt by James Evans. And under the circumstances, that is excellent by Evans. Trey Palmer makes one man miss, tries to wait for a little bit more room to open up, and ultimately he's down right at midfield.
Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For the playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
I was the float.
Oh, here's a big hole and a cutback run. During the timeout, Jalen Williams, the corner, went out of the game with an injury. Christopher Keys is in a corner right now. Only needed a couple of yards, and he picked up 3, so it is a 1st down. Under 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And a marker comes in on a run by Grant. Grant picks up 5, so now the most combined penalties in a Big Ten game this year with 19. To the edge.
That's going to be a hold.
Yes, the 20th penalty of the game. Taiwan Mullen, the All-American in 2020 on the other side.
First 25.
Yeah.
Just got to keep him here locked up.
Which they do. Oh, ball squirts out. 2nd down and 23.
Came with a blitz.
Picked up, great block by Gabe Irvin. And a long throw and juggled and incomplete. Taiwan Mullen with the pass breakup. 3rd and 23. For Nebraska in a tie game. No one has scored in the 3rd quarter. They see Thompson get hit as he throws the ball. 6 of the top 12 volleyball teams in the country in last week's ABCA poll are in the Big Ten. This is a great punt down to the coffin corner. So Indiana has 2 possessions. Here's a pass by Bazelak, and he overthrows Simmons. So 3 possessions for Indiana here in the 3rd quarter. The last one started at the 1-yard line, and this possession starts at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not so sure Simmons didn't think that ball was coming to him, because it looked like in the middle of his route he kind of slowed down a little bit.
And therefore it was an incompletion with 5:05 left in the third quarter. On the 2-yard line. And Bazelak on the in-breaking route to Anderson Colby.
Yeah, they're going man coverage now. Again, this is what I was talking about in the first half. Now they can dictate the routes, right? They're going to give you outside leverage in man coverage. You can have that slant all night long. Now look at this on the top screen. They are out there all by themselves. You don't even see it on the screen, but he's man-to-man.
Kobe went in motion. He caught that last pass for 8 yards. This is a 32 run.
He's short.
Yep.
Watch that official right there.
Josh Henderson is short of the first down. TCU transfer O'Shawn Mathis among those in on the tackle for Nebraska.
32, you can see him on the top side. And they're going to get out again. That whole series right there was only because of the punt. That punt pinned them back in there, and they're not going to take any chances down here. The field position game.
James Evans to punt it. Punting from just outside the goal line. The backpedaling Trey Palmer at the 39, and he was able to step away and outmaneuver 2 or 3 different tacklers.
Let Purdy get his feet under him.
And they're going to run the option. And down he goes on the tackle by James Head as we get more from the sideline for Megan McEwen.
Huskers QB Casey Thompson got up under his own power after that drive, was kind of shaking out his throwing arm, went into the injury tent, then walked back out. He's coming back in now, as you see, was warming up on the sidelines and immediately ran up to Mark Whipple. Talk about a tough QB.
One play for Purdy. Thompson back in the game. Anthony Grant's gone in motion, and Thompson delivers a throw in traffic looking for Travis Vokalek. Markers down, pass is incomplete.
That was a really good read by Thompson. He went to the right guy, but excellent coverage
by Devon Matthews.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Welcome to the penalty bowl here tonight.
12.
How many do we have now?
12 for Nebraska for 110 yards.
Yikes. Well, you can see it's clear as day. Benhart, he put the lasso on him.
Nebraska's had 2 straight situations with very good field position, because Indiana had been pinned deep after the Bryant Fitzgerald interception. They didn't do anything after the punt down deep. And this opportunity is not off to a good start with the penalty.
Well, at third and about maybe 17 or something like that, you're going to sit in the zone and keep everything in front of you, make them throw the ball underneath and come and make the tackle.
Third and 18 officially for the 36.
And they brought pressure.
And Thompson throws it because he was under pressure. He didn't complete it to Marcus Washington, who was tackled by Bryant Fitzgerald.
That surprised me. That's pretty gutsy right there.
And you saw Lewis Moore coming in with pressure off the edge.
Yeah, Chad Wilt getting pretty aggressive there on that call. It works, gets him off the field.
Chad Wilt, their first-year defensive coordinator. He's been a defensive line coach in the Big Ten at Minnesota and Maryland. He's also been a D-line coach at West Point at Army. An experience, he said, was the finest of his coaching career.
Bad punt. Bad bounce.
Yeah, that checks up. Pendulum swung in the other direction because remember, Buschini had that great punt that penned Indiana at the 2 a minute ago. Last punt. Bazelak rolls, had a lot of time, goes back across the field, popped up into the air out of the hands of Emery Simmons. Malachi Holt-Bennett to the far side of the field.
They got a one-on-one to the top side with nobody on him.
Henderson, a cut.
And he's taking inside leverage. Your safety's trying to, safety right now is trying to help that way because you're one-on-one up here.
Somebody's got to go over there. Isaac Gifford is headed that direction.
Oh, he missed him.
Yeah, Bazelak only now has looked to his right. He first looked to his left. Garrett Nelson chasing after him, and Bazelak is able to find Anderson Kobe at the 49 of Nebraska.
Really well done.
And in the up-tempo offense, they snap it quickly. And here's the jet sweep. And slicing through traffic is Malachi Holt-Bennett. That third down and between 3 and 4 yards. Indiana, third down, 3 yards to go, Nebraska 42. Bazelak dumps it off, deflected.
They backed off into the zone, and there was nobody on the second man in.
Punt by James Evans. Almost out to Wyoming. It's so far out in western Nebraska, Matt. And I know that the O'Connor family is out there watching tonight. Casey Thompson up top. Pass incomplete. Got a marker down. 190 combined penalty yards tonight. Gabe Irvin runs the ball. The season was cut short due to injury after 4 games.
Oh, coming clean.
Noah Pierre chasing Casey Thompson, and Thompson finally opted to get rid of it. Motion for Marcus Washington from the 29-yard line on 3rd and 9. Clean pocket now for Thompson, who will just heave it, and it's caught! Trey Palmer behind the defense! Touchdown, Nebraska! That was one of your old Raider buddies way back in the day, Daryl LaMonica.
Yeah, got it.
Casey Thompson stands back and rears back and lets her rip.
To the free safety.
So this moves Indiana back to their 13. Bazelak stands and then just throws too high over Anderson Kobe.
This is a zone right here.
Running back to Sean Shivers, and he's the option. Shivers is a good receiver out of the backfield. 11 catches this year going into play tonight.
All the way across the board. And they have one free.
Nelson trying to get to the quarterback. Bazelak pass. Diving catch along the sideline. Incomplete is the ruling.
The experience part is the big deal. Remember, this is a whole new offense that they're just learning. And the offensive coordinator is the guy saying, we have everything's in the gray. It's not black and white.
Constantly checked in on the wideout as he helped his mother care for his other siblings and calls Palmer practically a son. When Joseph landed in Lincoln, Palmer packed all of his things, took a visit to Nebraska.
One of his guys, right?
Yep.
That's just mixed approach, as it should be. Like, he's a player guy, but he's also going to be hard on him. I've been impressed with him just in the short period of time. It's not easy to do as an interim coach, but he's got the pulse of this team right now, like we talked about earlier.
Well, he told us yesterday that players have bought in quickly because he's truthful with them. Said, I'm going to run it the way it needs to be run. Check your ego and your feelings at the door.
Yeah, that first one's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the second one is too.
This third down is a big deal here after an incomplete pass intended for Alante Brown and then a no-gain run for Anthony Grant. Nebraska looking at a third down, and it's a quick rollout, and Casey Thompson to the aforementioned Trey Palmer, and he absorbed a big hit. He hung onto the ball, and he moves the sticks. 151 yards now for Trey Palmer. A low snap picked up by Thompson, a handoff, and a sprint to the edge for Anthony Grant inside the Hoosier 40-yard line. Knocks Grant out of bounds on a 5-yard run. They'll dial Grant's number again, and Grant picks up the first down. The 7 yards on that run put Anthony Grant at 101 yards tonight, and he will add to that total. And uses his hand for balance after the spin move to pick up a little bit more. Chancellor Brewington is in the backfield as a blocker. Grant there is the runner. Nice cut. Yeah, jump cut, and more still to come, presumably in the last 9 minutes and 21 seconds. There's another one. Roll out throw in the direction of Brewington. And a little tiptoe up the sideline. Brewington caught the pass.
Your eye on him.
Trey Palmer in motion. Quick rollout. Thompson. A throw. Palmer caught it. Inside the 5. First down. They were down 21-7 and tied it at 21 before the half. They're in jeopardy of going down by 14. Nebraska's Anthony Grant on 1st and goal. A methodical drive that's covered 11 plays and 53 yards. Looking for the last yard, and it's taken in on the final yard by Casey Thompson on the quarterback keeper.
Brock Bando on that side, Trent Hicks in the center, Ben Hart over there. That's a good job of being physical.
The auto owners insurance impact players for Nebraska's offense, we said at the start of the game tonight, would be wide receiver Trey Palmer, Connor Bazelak in Indiana, 3-1, their record coming into the game. They will need some late game heroics to have an opportunity at 4-1. Good offensive touchdown drives, and then the rest of the game has been a struggle, as you just saw on that graphic on your screen. Pass to Kobe for 11 yards. Now Bazelak will throw it away.
It's going to have to be played in the gray area, right? So when you see your quarterback needs help, you got to come back to him. You don't continue your route going deeper.
Moments like that, when you explain it that way, make you feel like they really miss guys like Camper and Matthews tonight. Here's Bazelak. Outside in space, and a tackle by Isaac Gifford in space after Emory Simmons caught it.
That is not easy to do. One-on-one in the open field, and you've got to make a play, and he just catches that leg. What you have to do is use an angle and take something away. He actually got too high on it, but he still made the tackle. Well done.
From Southeast High School right here in Lincoln, that's Isaac Gifford, who's had a fine game tonight and on a number of tackles, nothing bigger than that one. Bazelak, and he was under a lot of heat and throws an incomplete pass to the near sideline. The punt by James Evans.
He's been here, done that, and he's doing it again.
Yes, sir. Nebraska up 14. A running play coming here. Having a retrenching year is what the Hoosiers are looking for, but a difficult schedule out in front of them. But the matter at hand is tonight's game and getting a stop with the ball back as quickly as possible. Matter of fact, they're going to use one of their timeouts with 4:38 left, and a 3rd down and 3 coming up. We're back in 30 seconds.
Calls their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length.
First-year offensive coordinator for Nebraska, Mark Whipple, has a 3rd down and 3 play call to make. Head coaching experience, including at UMass and his alma mater, Brown. He's had NFL quarterback coaching experience with the Steelers, Eagles, and Browns.
Yeah, Whip's been there, done that, and he understands exactly what's going on here. So defensively now, you got to lock up this 3rd and 3. You got to get this some man coverage here, and they counter this thing by keeping everybody in tight.
They're going with 3 tight ends and nowhere to go for Anthony Grant. And Grant is slung down.
It's a loss. 2.
Indiana has 1 timeout left. They've used 2 after stops on 2nd and 3rd down. And now Nebraska will punt the football back to the Hoosiers, who need 2 touchdowns to tie the game. Here's the kick by Brian Buschini. Is there a chance here in the return game? No. But there is a very fortuitous bounce for the Hoosiers. They'll have the ball at the 36-yard line. Let's look at that 3rd down stop.
I want you to watch Bradley Jennings right here, the outside linebacker. This is a phenomenal play. Take on the tight end, right? Now, keep everything in front of you. Takes on the puller, gets off that thing, and then he's going to end up making the tackle. That is a big-time play. Really well done. Not afraid to get knocked around a little bit and knock a couple other guys down. That's a big-time play.
From Jacksonville, Florida, transfer from Miami, Bradley Jennings.
They didn't like that call.
No. Casey Thompson heard about it on the sideline. Here's O'Shawn Mathis, and Bazelak is zigzagging in the pocket, and he got away from Mathis, and he threw the ball in the direction of A.J. Barnard, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, and so, look, there's got to be a plan. I know they're talking about it. We have to play a lot in the gray area, but a lot of that gray area is when he's running, you got to come back to the quarterback. You don't just keep running your route. You got to come back to him and give him a chance to make a play. Now they're locked up in man coverage again, especially up on the top.
Baseline, under pressure, and down he goes. He is sacked and squashed by Ty Robinson.
I've been waiting for Ty Robinson to do that all night long. Ty Robinson's a big physical man, and he can run. It looked like they just forgot about him. Nobody blocked him.
How can you forget about a 6'6", 310-pound defensive tackle?
They want him to play angry. They want him to play a little perturbed.
A mean streak is what Mickey Joseph says he has.
I think perturbed and a mean streak's the same thing.
It is. Oh, no argument here.
I don't want to get you perturbed.
Timeout taken here by Nebraska.
Nebraska calls their first timeout.
They have 2 timeouts left. 3.5 minutes to go. Back in 30. Well, the door is still ajar for Indiana, but this could slam it shut.
Yeah, exactly. See the middle of the field. They're playing a 2-shell. Get to the middle of that field if you can. There it is.
Pressure, 4th and 16, and batted down. Floating back into coverage was linebacker Luke Reimer, and he breaks up the play on 4th down.
Reimer does it well because there was an open spot right there. He got his hand up on it and knocked that ball out. Reimer's played a really nice game here tonight. They brought a player, they brought an extra man. That was the spot right there, right inside. Here comes the pressure. Nick knows exactly what that means. That's really well played there by Reiner. Good job.
He had an interception earlier in the game. We talked to him yesterday after the morning walkthrough, and he told us that the bye week gave us a sense of unity and just to kind of be able to breathe and relax. Then he used the word imperative, and that upsets you, Matt, because you don't think linebackers should use vocabulary words like that.
Never have words like that, yeah. Shouldn't even know that word.
It's at the 30-yard line after the 4th down stop by Luke Reimer and the Huskers defense. There's Luke. You know what he's telling his teammates right now? It was imperative that I break up that pass.
Not only that, it was important. One of the things he had to do.
Trev Alberts, athletic director. It was a teammate of Mickey Joseph back when Mickey Joseph was starting quarterback for Nebraska on that 1990 team. Mickey was here longer than that, but that was the season where he saw the most time on the field for Tom Osborne.
What this will do to this Nebraska team is just give them some confidence, and confidence is a huge piece of the ingredients that you have to have.
Cut back run, Anthony Grant still going. First down inside the 20.
Grant's tough. He's going to be tough for the rest of this Big Ten season. He runs angry. I like that.
Another look at athletic director Trev Alberts and the number 34 that he proudly wore for the Cornhuskers.
And you can see number 93 under there. Probably the most dominant college defender I have ever watched in Ndamukong Suh. Should still be playing.
With a smile on Luke Reimer's face down on the sideline for Nebraska. Down to the last 90 seconds of the game. Casey Thompson running clock.
Too much.
Yeah.
Clock. Well, they took the timeout.
Delay of game. Offense.
Ends up being a delay of game.
I thought they gave him the timeout.
Prior to the expiration of the play clock,
Coach Joseph there, happy guy. This is the formation you like to see if you're a head coach.
Yes, indeed. Open the season with that trip to Dublin, Ireland.
Right here, listen to this crowd. A very appreciative crowd. 100 years this stadium has been sitting here. And this is one of the iconic stadiums in our country, mostly because of the people who occupy it.
Who have sold it out for 60 years, 386 straight games. Nebraska's taking the last snap they got to take. Indiana opened the year at 3-0, a loss last week to Cincinnati, and now a loss to Nebraska. They're 3-2. 2-3 the record for Nebraska as a warm and friendly embrace shared between Mickey Joseph and Tom Allen.